Hello. We're back. Playing inside. Oh no, I left off at a puzzle. I guess I'm a dumbass. Let's just make sure everything's working. Should be good. Okay. Yeah, there's some water puzzle stuff going on here. And, I think we have to get a platform coming through. So it restarted all our progress. Actually, before we get started, I'm gonna take some nose medicine again. It seemed to get stuffy as soon as I start rolling every time. I'm sure there's people out there that can relate. Second. Where the nose thing's one of those things where you think it's gonna happen, so it actually happens kind of deal. So you're like, oh no, what if my nose gets stuffy? I need to buy better detergent, I think. Something a little less perfume in it. That might help. Okay. So yeah, we gotta raise the water. There's an area to the right we have to get to, but it kind of feels like we need like a floating platform here. This is all we got, right? We can... What if I swim very, very, very fast? Nope. That doesn't work. Yeah, the visuals, the sound design, so good in this game. I was opening, I was just like, oh, they've actually got it so you can like hear the protagonist breathing quietly in the empty room. It's kind of unsettling, but very interesting. And just the way they use color is very, very good. Yep, it's no wonder Jacksepticeye is a big fan of this game. So, I guess we just lower the water and then we like move over, right? Run out of air. Maybe that red door is just like a red herring. That's why it's red. It all makes sense now. Ooh, yeah. Okay, wasn't really much of a puzzle. Had my nephew over and we played Nemesis. It's a board game. It's like the Alien movie, but you actually have to play the board game and you kind of role play trying to survive on a ship. It's really fun. I should play it again soon. I don't get to play that game enough. It's a excellent game though. What do I need this for, I wonder? Oh. I just need to take it out with me, that's all. Makes sense. Let's fix a few things here. Oh, the New Year's party. Lots of conservative people there. I don't really care. I'm not like out to persuade every little individual, small business owner, or what have you. I don't really give a shit. I do know that the vast majority of people already know where the score is at. They know they're being exploited. They know the system is completely unresponsive and self-destructive and can't get even the smallest thing done. not even to balance itself for like stability either. It just is hell bent on crushing people globally as much as possible until I guess the whole thing implodes. I'm not really sure what the idea is behind that, but I don't think there's any plan at all. Capitalists have historically been very self-destructive. The World War I was, at the end of the day, a capitalist war. Capitalists just trying to use the aristocracy and the military to maintain their power. Can I... down. Late. And we all know how World War I ended. Not very well. Everyone said it was going to be done in less than 6 months. And that didn't come true. So, just another classic example of the people in power fucking up and then pretending like it wasn't their fault. Ooh. I'm not paying attention. Bad streamer. No biscuit. Oh. Right in the face. The fact that it gets dragged up on a string reminds me of the Pinocchio movie. I watched the new one on Netflix. It's really good. It's nothing new or spectacular, like it's just Pinocchio, but they have like greasy bourgeoisie businessmen and fascist assholes in it. Instead of just like typical like you'll smoke and then you'll turn into a donkey. It's like the only message that the Disney version had. It's kind of, that's a little vacuous. It's like, yes, be puritanical. That'll definitely solve all your problems in life. Nope. Oh, gotta make it. Oh, big jumps. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't recommend doing a lot of heavy smoking and drinking. I myself tried not to do that. But it's like, dude. It is what it is. Obviously, it's not like... And usually, honestly, I mean, the truth is people smoke and stuff like that, like, heavily and drink heavily because they've got other problems in their life. Right. It's like, yeah, it makes your problems worse, but it's kind of hard to worry about that when you've got actual issues going on. Or you're just very unhappy. I was having a bit to drink during the New Year's party, and I almost never drink. That might have been the only real drinking I've done for an entire year, where I actually got like a little bit drunk. I think I had like 4 or 5 beers or something, which over the course of many hours, which is not much. Politics did come out, but only when I was directly asked political questions. I don't know why people do that. The funny thing is, I like come to parties and stuff, and people just assume that I'm the one starting it all. I'm like, no, I never do. It's like someone else always directly asks me political stuff. They bring it up or whatever. It's like, be surprised how often people do that, and they just expect you to say nothing or to demur. And I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I ain't gonna bring it up if you don't bring it up, because I guess most people don't. Like, most people, especially if you're at like a party like I was at, a lot of them are conservative. One guy there's literally a small business owner whose whole goal is to exploit employees to give himself money. So he's just basically mostly a jackass. Maybe he's not entirely a jackass, but he is very jackass. It's like, yeah, I'm not gonna bring it up. Like, right. It's like a family get-together. But, you know. I had to talk about the whole thing where somehow a lot of people in North America believe that Stalin killed as or more people than Hitler did, which is just a straight-up lie. A lot of the time that number includes things like deaths from Nazis, low birth rates as deaths because people were like not expanding as much, you know, having as many children during the period. And the most annoying thing, because it's like the only number that could be considered legitimate is there were some famines during the collectivization period. But the thing about that is there was famines when the Tsar was in power. Lots of them. And, you know, but all of a sudden, because Stalin, even though I would like to remind everybody, the Russians pretty much single-handedly finished World War II. and lost the most people in the war. The most people died were Russians. Um, and they really did help bring the German war machine to a halt. I mean, they were the main people who did it. The victory does belong mostly to them. The British obviously fought pretty hard too, but the British committed their own atrocities, though. They firebombed Berlin. And that was my main point. It's like, yeah, Stalin, some people did starve to death under his rule, but people have starved to death under US presidents too. Like the Dust Bowl famine during the 30s. That could have been prevented by government policy easily. Just regulate the companies and how much cotton, because it was the cotton leaching nutrients out of the soil that the companies refused to stop planting, even though you obviously have to cycle the crops or the ground dries up. They wouldn't do that, and that literally caused the Dust Bowl event to happen, and thousands of people starved. But we don't blame the president for that, because brain rot. That's just fucking brain rot. There's no other word for that. And the problem, obviously, is that when you compare Stalin to Hitler, it's like completely delusional. It's like, if you were to rank evil people even from the same time period, I would put Churchill firmly above Stalin. Like, Churchill purposely withheld supplies from Indian population because he thought the Japanese would invade them, which they never did, or like occupy them, and then they would get the supplies. So he purposely starved Indians. And Churchill said some pretty awful shit. Like, he said basically, I don't know what his quote was exactly, but paraphrasing, he's like, oh, the Indians are like rabbits and they breed constantly. Basically, killing them off would be a good thing. Well, simultaneously withholding food from the starving population during wartime. And India were his allies. And they were helping the fight in the war. It's absurd. So somehow you put Stalin above Churchill and next to Hitler. It's like, dude, get a value system. It's ridiculous. But people are just such brain rot that they, little things like that just pass without batting an eye. Ooh, this time it's just hungry dogs. It's ridiculous. And here's the thing. I want to say, when I say all that I'm not like a huge proponent of Stalin or anything. Like, I'm sure there's plenty of valid criticisms. He's probably not the first leader I would pick at all as like a model for how people should run things. And the early Soviet Union government had a lot of problems, but again, it was like just starting. So it's kind of silly to be like, oh, everything that didn't run perfectly immediately off the bat after they got out of a revolution where the czarists were complete assholes, literally sending people into combat without boots on. They got out of those situations and tried to industrialize in like 5 years so that they, wouldn't get crushed by the Germans, and they survived World War II because of those efforts. It wasn't easy. Could they have done it in a more humane way? Yeah, maybe they could have. Maybe there was improvements, and that's fine to make those criticisms. I'm fine with that. You can look at it and be like, well, maybe they could have done this better. Okay, I don't have a problem with that. But it's something totally different to make the argument that like, the whole Soviet project was evil from the get-go. It's like, dude, that's just red scary. It's completely delusional. Like, that's the kind of stuff that rich people and people in power like shove down other people's throats to get them to like shut up. Shut up, stop striking, stop going out and being democratic. It's a totalitarian mindset. Right? Even this criticism of China, for the most part, that's what it is. I guess I have to jump in here or the dog's gonna get me. Like, I'm sure China's government has problems, but like, it's just red scare shit. Like, if you actually care about leftist politics, you will realize that... Oh, fuck, I went the wrong way. Nope. Brutal. If you actually care about leftist politics, you'll realize here's my key argument, okay? This is the most simple argument. It was told to me, and like, anybody who really disagrees with this kind of an idiot. Because it's so obvious. It's like, here's the thing. If you're to be picked as a random citizen to be born in either, say, China or India, India is a highly capitalist country, as I'm sure most of you know. It's way better for you to be a random citizen in China. If you're to randomly from a lottery be born as like a citizen from, you know, it could be rich, could be poor. Being born in India randomly would suck ass. It's terrible. They have the largest slums in the world. They have like some of the most high in wealth inequality. They're really brutal state. But suddenly all the spotlight is focused on China. It's because, well, they don't want anyone over here getting any bright ideas. Yeah, is China's government work perfectly? I'm sure. Here's the thing: it's not. You can't just copy paste it onto Western culture. We have a different culture. Chinese have lived thousands of years under like mostly stable rulership before the colonial period. Some argument as to that, but I'd say it's more stable than many other parts of the world. And they also have things like who's the big philosopher dude there who's like pro state or whatever, Confucius. They have Confucius thinking, which is just different, and like it is what it is. And like maybe, you know, it's like, and I don't want to stereotype, but I'm just saying it is generally different, and they also have a long history of different government structures than we do. But that doesn't mean you can't look at them for ways to make your own systems, what to do, what not to do. And quite frankly, China's government is fairly peaceful. The whole thing with Taiwan is basically fluff manufactured by the U.S. It's propaganda almost entirely. China has always said they can join us whenever they're ready. That's their stance on it. They don't care. Like, the Taiwanese government was literally a fascist coup that, like, it's just run its course. People have gotten tired of it. It's bullshit. Yeah. But dogs can swim. But apparently dogs cannot dive, so I'm just gonna do this. This is probably not enough time for me to get around him, but whatever. Apparently he swims badly. I'm much faster than dog. Makes sense, I guess. Paws are definitely not very good at swimming. This is probably the most tense part in the game. Jacksepticeye always likes this part. It's scary, very scary. Hey. Some big ass dogs. You come over here, boys. Probably a little too early, but that's alright. Rotten lip. Oh. Brutal. Well, so much for the no death run. Jacksepticeye almost did a no death run. I think he died from like just straight walking off an edge. He was very disappointed about it. Apparently I lack patience. Well, sometimes patience is not always a virtue. When do we want the revolution? We want it now! Ooh. Just trying to heighten the tension. Don't mind me. So you can actually pull this off in a timely manner. It's a pretty scary part. Gonna... One of these. I have to pull another one. Pretty sure you could squeeze through there, but whatever you want. Damn, this is scary. Sure glad I'm not a small child. Being a kid is scary, yo. Hate to say it. That's how it is. Like, if I was an adult, I would just hang off the fence and hit him with a stick, but like, you just don't have the muscle coordination as a kid. Bad dog. Mythbusters tested it. If you ever want to get past guard dogs, it's like you can use female dog scent, which is kind of hard to get your hands on, but it actually does work pretty well. And you can just throw food at them, apparently. Like, they get very distracted by meat. If you bring enough of it, works pretty well. I think you can even basically get them to stop attacking you by throwing meat. Am I supposed to... Oh. Dickhead. I'm not really sure where I'm supposed to hide here. Maybe back here. Whatever. Time for me to take a cup of coffee. Yeah. It's kind of silly. And like Orwell has gotten, and I love Orwell's books. That's how it is. I like the books. He's just the fucking, what he was actually writing about was fascism. All of Orwell's life experience is working as like a security guard in India, right? That's where he actually knows shit from, which is a colonial pro-capitalist, you know, area. But somehow he seems to think that the greater evil is like socialism, even though in 1984 the government looks a lot more fascist than socialist. It's not like there's worker involvement in the party. I mean, it is possible the social democratic type parties, especially in Germany, kind of became, I guess, corrupt or whatever you want to call it, but they became soft and careerist. That is a thing that happened. So it's not always guaranteed, so maybe that's what he was afraid would happen. Here's the thing. It's like, I think Animal Farm, I just can't forgive him for that. It's like, it's so stupid. It's like, it's insipid. And it's like considered like an amazing book. And I'm like, dude, but people misread 1984. It's like, its main things is to be anti-thought crime, anti-totalitarian state, anti-forever war. I mean, and it's also very nationalistic, but all of those things people ignore, and they're just like, oh, it's apparently just all about socialism. I guess Animal Farm's the reason for that, but Animal Farm is definitely, I don't know, it's a bunch of bullshit. I mean, what's the main lesson of Animal Farm? It's just like, oh, some animals are more equal than others. So it's like the system's destined to fail because it's within human nature to always corrupt this thing. And it's like, so it's just much better to live in a land where like you've got the farmers who are obviously the bourgeoisie and the animals who are like, you know, being exploited and given like no say in anything and basically used up and then killed. Essentially, and it's like, it's just better because, oh, we would get this slippery slope, and slippery slope arguments are just stupid. It's so dumb. I think Animal Farm's actually, I mean, who the hell likes allegories or whatever, anyways? Tolkien himself said he hated allegories. He thought they were really stupid. And Animal Farm is just a straight up allegory. And it's kind of dumb. Honestly, not my favorite book. Like Down and Out in Paris and London. If you like Orwell, I'd read that one. That's kind of like semi-autobiographical, and it's his time spent bumming around Paris and in the London area. And just being poor, basically, and how awful it is. So Orwell wrote a lot about anti-capitalist stuff, but people always twist 1984 and they're like, oh, it's only about Red Scare shit. It's so disgusting. I get so fucking tired of it. When, like, everything that actually happens in 94 is more fascist than anything. I guess it could be argued that you don't see a lot of capitalist enterprises in the book, but that's probably because it's just like, you know, I would say the book looks a lot like what you'd expect the Third Reich to look like if it had actually succeeded. Just constant forever wars, elite group of workers who just have domination over everyone else and force people to work through violence. I mean, that's the whole point of fascism at the end of the day. And just totalitarian ideology, where you must constantly be parodying the ideology. Right? I guess the argument is that if you go too far to the left, it leads to totalitarianism as well. But it's bullshit. I don't know too much about that when it comes to the Soviet Union. Like the arguments about how much censorship and totalitarian thinking they had. I don't know the specific details, so I'm not fucking gonna talk about it. But when it comes to China, people have always been like, oh, it's more authoritarian or totalitarian or whatever people want to call it. Because, oh, they have like a firewall that filters stuff. I'm like, I'm sorry. The ads that you see on Google, the information that gets pushed to the top, like the popular news clips, it's filtered propaganda. The stuff you see on Google is essentially pure ideology, right? And that might seem overly simplistic, like I'm some sort of like wacko, but it really just is. I can provide examples. I'm not gonna do that right now because I'd have to open a web browser, but I've done many clear-cut case studies of stuff that's on Google. It's just totally not wrong or not right at all. How do we get out of here? I need to leave my boat. Or I have to go to the surface, I guess. That makes sense. There we go. Not really analyzing the game much right now. But I mean, we see right here some sort of like Orwellian themes, so that's kind of why maybe I felt like being drawn to that topic. I'm sure everybody who played this game knows about 1984, so it's not too like wild or anything, like, you know, tangential. I assume we're looking for some sort of button or something. Some rats. As we all know, rats are a theme in 1984. Oops. Yeah, I have a lot of beef with Orwell in some ways. But see, the thing is, if you read Down on Paris and London, you realize that he does not like shitty capitalist cultures either. His main problem is with totalitarian thinking in general. And I love some of the phrases he's coined. Thought crime, I think, is a really interesting one. Doublethink is a very interesting thing that the state does to basically allow people to have contradictory opinions. I just have to... Oh, those are the pods, which fortunately I can't get a good look at. Wish I could. Nope, ain't happening. You can't really see them too well. But... I think Animal Farm's a dumb allegory, though. It's so hollow. Here's the thing. Socialism was happening in Britain, and it concerned Orwell, but he only heard about Stalinist Russia from, like, anecdotal shit sent to him by his, like, buddies or random people in the news. Like, he had no personal experience living there. And again, his personal experience was being poor in Paris and London and being a thug in Indian colonies, which he hated. So it's like, dude, write about what you know. Instead of supposing all this shit about a country you've never even been to. You know, the Beatles went to the USSR. And, I don't know. Did they hate it? I kind of doubt it. Watch A Man with a Camera. It's free on YouTube. I think it's A Man with a Movie Camera or something is what it's called. It's just a guy going around Soviet Unions in the 20s, filming stuff randomly. And you'll see that, like, they're not oppressed. It's a myth. It's bullshit. And that's, like, definitely around or just after the Stalinist period, so it's kind of, like, ridiculous to assume people's lives were like under strict control at all times. It's bullshit. Like in America, you have a good chance of losing your job if you do anything political. But that's not totalitarian. To make this jump. Okay, that's just the button I think we've been waiting for. This will open the door. This is a long kind of puzzle. A lot of stages. Kind of circles back eventually. It's nice though, it's a little quieter part of the game after the dog part, which you'd expect for sure. Ooh, creepy. So my theory about these creatures, and we'll see if there's any evidence as we go forward, is that they're just like hippies basically, who live outside the system and have managed to inject themselves with the underwater breathing genetic manipulation tech. And they do it so they can live like off the grid or whatever. And I don't know if they're all trying to give you the water thing or some of them are trying to kill you. That kind of remains to be seen. I'll probably have to let them kill me to like see what that's about, but they're obviously not like organized though. I think they're just randos. Oops. That. I have to press spacebar. It's a little close. Oh, I actually made it. I thought it wouldn't for a second. Which I do find this part interesting because we see here that the first people who live kind of outside of the society, I don't know if they're like sentient or whatever. Maybe they're just loose drones though, or whatever. I kind of doubt it. They seem to have personal motivations. They're just kind of like living in like a more natural state or whatever. Is it hippies or beatniks? I don't know the difference, man. I do apologize for that. Not that it's really like a culture that truly exists anymore. The hippie culture is exactly the kind of example of like capitalism recuperating stuff for sure. It's like then it just became like a style and it's all about like buying things and consuming certain music and having free sex, and it's just about the all the actual energy of the movement gets sucked up. For sure. That's how it is, man. Is anything cool down here? A block. Oh, nice. That was a little secret. Let's check it out. What's it all about? Maybe we'll find something cool to look at. It's more what I'm interested in. Some old industrial parts and stuff. I don't know what that is down there. It's kind of interesting. I don't know if there's some Akira inspiration in here. Oh yeah, Jacksepticeye was like asking about movies, and I mentioned this last episode, but like Akira springs to mind as a movie that is very much like this. And Akira, of course, is also a manga, which is colorized. So if you like the movie, it's kind of hard to even have an excuse to not read the manga, whatever you call it, because yeah, it's colorized. I mean, it's very pop culture friendly. I never finished the Akira manga, but I read like most of it. I thought it was pretty good. Oh shit! Is there a point to these guys? Apparently they can swim. Did I fuck this up? Did you get like one shot at this or something? Oh man, I think I know what you have to do. I'm pretty sure you have to put him on the pod and jump the pod and get him to hook onto that so you can push the block over. Which is kind of dumb, because couldn't I just like walk there? I don't know, it's like in the background, I guess. But I don't really care because I'm not going to do the final edits. I ain't going to do this. But in the background, kind of makes it worth it. You do see an old, abandoned super tech circle, which I think looks like the one where the final blob guy is in at the end of the game. That's kind of interesting. I'm going to file that away for later. Does that mean that some of the New World stuff is also in decay? Like, how have we had like a double apocalypse, or is it like a delayed compared to our nowadays world? I don't know if that circle in the background really looks like the container that the final blob is held in or not. Like, it might not actually be that. I'm going to file that image away for later, and then we can compare that for sure. If you missed my first stream where I talked about the bulk of my theories, then you kind of want to hear a better, you know, treatment of how I think this game works, you can go back and watch the first VOD for sure. But I don't really want to repeat myself every stream unless there's like new stuff to talk about. Yeah, that circle in the background's interesting though. We'll keep that in mind. I'm a little like today. I'm a little, what's the word? Just like discouraged we went too far. I was watching a movie about how the German socialist revolution failed, even though they kind of managed to stop the war, but then they put into power people that were supported by the military, and it sort of backfired on them after 1918 when World War I ended. And I believe, I might be wrong about this, but I was told there Rosa Luxemburg was like shot. And I was thinking about like how there's just less and less like important jobs these days because everything's becoming globalized, at least in North America, although Canada still has the oil patch, which requires many like people to work on and lots of skilled labor. So we can still definitely do unions and strikes here if we manage to organize, which might never happen. And I was just like, man, so many obstacles. There's so many like moving parts and things that have to get into place. Or do I swim faster than this, I wonder? Or you know, it's like people can't get the bargaining power they need. I think this is not really the way to do it, but whatever. I drowned it? Dude. I was like 2 inches from the surface. That's kind of silly, yo. I don't know, I'm just feeling very discouraged today. But I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, what else are you gonna do? Like, there's nothing to do. Capitalism is sort of eating up any sort of meaningful activity. I think that's the biggest weakness of it. Is that, like, you know, there's no social clubs anymore. There's no sports clubs anymore that people can afford to go to or are just, like, free to join or whatever. People's social life has been crushed down to, like, I mean, that's why I watch stuff on Twitch, just because. Because there is no, like, stuff to do socially anymore. You know? Remains to be seen whether, like, a lot of traditional Marxist, people who, like, study that, they go whole ham on the, unionists as being, and, like, worker strikes as being, like, the main source of power for revolutions. And I quite agree that there's no harm in boosting that as much as you can and trying to find protection so people feel comfortable striking and, like, it feels like it's worth it to them. I'm not even sure what I'm doing here. But, like, definitely social media has to be a part of any, like, modern day revolution. Just look at the 2001 Arab Spring. I mean, you can't ignore the most recent history, right? And if social media becomes too censorious, then people also have to solve that with, like, you know, probably some underground or peer-to-peer internet or something. Oops. Alright, my dumbass. That's all there was to the puzzle. I was really overthinking that. Oh, there's something else I had to do with timing. Guess not. What? Why did you fuck up? Why don't you just fuck up? So they don't like the light. That's kind of interesting. Back the fuck up. Please. You want to like let them kill me, but fine, just kill me. I want to see what they do. Huh. So they seem to kind of just like choke you. You know, those is easier. Oh no, I'll wise up to that. Yeah, so they're obviously quite strong, so they've had some genetic enhancement or something like that. Or biotech enhancement or something. Some of them apparently know how to work the equipment, because they give the air breathing power to you. It makes me think that they're just sort of like random, not organized people who just like kind of live around here for the walls. I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do here. Should you just like go away? Oh, I can like break the door, lock it out. It's kind of interesting. This part's creepy, yo. It's very Bioshock-esque. Oh yeah, what about Bioshock? How come Jacksepticeye doesn't know that exists? He's probably played it already, actually. I don't know. Oh. It's like Bioshock's obviously very similar in theme to this. I don't know, man. Bioshock also has the mega anti-capitalist themes. In a way that's very honestly told, I think. Oh, we gotta give it a couple whacks, I see. They don't want you, like, speedrunning it. There we go. Alt for let. I like Jacksepticeye quite a bit because he's obviously a pro like me. Grew up in a tiny, tiny village in the middle of nowhere. He really likes helping people, which is nice. Cool beach, yo. I love beaches. I love beaches. Beaches, not. Wow. Anywho, moving on. What is this area? I think this is right before the weapons area. I kind of want to take a look around here for a second. Actually, let's go back to the submarines. I want to see if there's anything on the surface here to see. Might as well see any details we can. The action parts, it's hard to look around because, like, it's tense. But this is very interesting. So we're back outdoors now, like away from the apocalypse area. Well, maybe those buildings just like sunk or something. But let's go see what's to the left here. Just any like goodies. Hopefully it doesn't get us killed or something. Yeah, I don't know. I'm having a very discouraged day, but there's one thing I've sort of learned growing up when you live in like this dystopia shithole is that it doesn't really matter too much how you feel day to day. It's just you kind of have to say to yourself, it's like, well, what else is there gonna do? It's like I might as well still stream. I don't have much else to do. I mean, I could play games with my brothers or whatever, something like that. But it's like, I don't know. If you're gonna spend your time here on Earth, it's like you might as well do whatever. This is a good example of whatever. Okay, so there's something interesting over here. We've got like a huge. What is this? So this is like the outside of the facility. Wow, it's very large. Is this like a seawall? I feel like this is a seawall, but it's like collapsed and in disrepair. So is this like a reference to like global warming or some shit? You decide, because I have no evidence for that either way. It looks to me like a seawall, but it probably failed at some point, and that's why the whole city area is like underwater and this facility is underwater. That would make sense. I mean, why else would it be underwater, right? It's just went into disrepair, and the seawall is like expensive to maintain. So this is like this world is probably like the end of capitalism. Like we've just destroyed the earth. It caused a lot of problems. There's some disease, possibly warfare, and we didn't really come up with a good solution. This underground group of people is like trying to create a new world with zombie, reanimated, recycled the dead labor, I guess, sort of, right? My theory is that the pods also grow drones as well, but I don't really know too if that's the case. You never really see what's in the pods, and I kind of hate that. But they are connected to the trees, so they're like biotech of some sort, right? It's interesting. And I don't know, it looks like they're humans, like adult sized. Is it just me? They're like perfect for fitting in. I don't know. I'd like to find more evidence for that. You see the pods pretty frequently in this game, but you never get a good hint as to what the hell the point of them is. Damn, now I can't go back. Oh, so this is the mining area. Cool. Yeah, so obviously the theory here is that like the labor dudes in this area, they have like a hibernation ability, which allows them to like lower their metabolism. It's just how they can survive here without food, sort of. Obviously needs power. I like how they had the light that was off to sort of indicate that. My eyes are a little dry. You can hear the shockwaves going off in the distance. So that's the weapon. It's like a foreshadowing of it. So we're actually in the weapons facility, like I said, but there's also this worker area right before it. We should definitely try to pay some attention to this, I think. What's with the U? The U sign. It's interesting. Let's go up first. I don't really know what we're supposed to be doing here, but... If Jacksepticeye has not played Bioshock, he needs to slap himself. Because, like, that is definitely the most similar game. I don't think I can get over there. To this. It's got a very similar vibe. It's an ugly fucking game. It's fugly. But, it's really cool themes for sure. Do I need like a helmet to control? Okay, I can't do that either. Guess I'm a dumbass. It's definitely hard to piece together all of the puzzles in this game for sure. It's a tough one. Tough one. Lots of visual storytelling. Half-Life 2 is very famous for that as well. Obviously, Half-Life 2 deals with transhumanism and resource extraction, which is very much appropriate in our global age. Because that's basically what North America does, and Western Europe does, with like all the countries, just pure resource extraction. I'm just gonna go down right first, for now. What I do want is to find stuff to look at though that gives me a good hint. Just to like what is the purpose of this whole area and everything. Obviously this is kind of an abandoned mine, perhaps? It's hard to say. Okay. So I need that thing. We go down here. We're supposed to go down here. Should try to pay attention to some of the details here, because I bet you there's good hints. Oh, what is this? Just if you F up? How dare they? I'm trying to find cool things. Oh, wait, no, we can just go further. Probably die because I messed that up or whatever. Oh, no shit. You're not allowed to drown. It is forbidden. No drowning. Okay, making some progress. Still no really big hints here. Okay, this, however, does look like a mining area. It's like, it's hard to tell the dating of things, right? It's like, is this way before, like, the New World Order shit? Or is this, like, same period, sort of? It's kind of hard to tell. Let's keep our eyes open. Obviously, there's some mining here. And on top of that, there's the weapons facility I think we're going to see in the next room, which is all connected. There's like walls around these areas, so maybe these are like the remnants of sort of capitalist feudal states where like everything's done inside a city state, and the city states have like defense mechanisms that they're working on, and we'll see. This is just, I'm just spitballing right now. These are not solid theories by any measure. So it could be like you know, capitalist feudalism, industrial feudalism, or techno feudalism, city state type thing. Yeah, I think I already put down the platform, so I don't really need to go up there. Never mind, it is stubborn and keeps going back up. That's how it looks. Chuck me. So yeah, okay, let's look at these workers, because they're, so these look like they're all blue collar type workers for sure. So were they working in the mine? Who knows? Why are they here? That's a good question. They seem to just be running around randomly. Perhaps they died, and because of like some tragedy or some shit, and then they dumped like the worm things on them to collect them, but then these guys got left behind because they just weren't they were in a rush, or they didn't really cover this area too well, because obviously it's a kind of a maze, right? Can we do this part yet? Yeah, apparently. Are we supposed to leave it under here or something? Not really too sure. Let's see though. We still don't really have too much of a clue as to what the apocalypse actually is. But there's something to do there. Oh, they like moved it. Yo, guys, I didn't want you to move it. Bro. Was I supposed to fall in it? Like, I don't even know. I'm a dumbass. Capital D, capital A, dumbass. I mean, I don't want to leave this, like, unexplored because I don't want to come back here, right? Is there even a point of falling in here? Like, what would it accomplish? Oh, we can. Got it. We can use it to get through that little gap there. Makes sense. In the words of the immortal Jacksepticeye, the plot, she thickens! I can't do the Irish voice, so don't expect me to. Okay. I don't want to fall, not jump over it. These guys push me towards my fated destination. And victory. Maybe. We see, yeah, definitely like more mining apparatus. Surely. Secret. Oh, the pods! The heckin' pods! Oh. Maybe the pods are there to recharge the energy of the workers. They don't use them to grow the workers, like it's just for replenishment. That fucking makes sense, so they don't need a food source. That explains how like they have a combination of hibernation and lower metabolism, and they use the pods to feed them. Because these workers are hanging out inside the pods, but there's not just like one, and they clearly didn't get grown from the pods. So I'm going to assume that they use them to replenish them. Okay, that's one mystery solved, I'm pretty sure. Maybe we'll see more evidence for that, because that's obviously, it's kind of, the evidence is fairly light. But, I think that's pretty strong there. The reason I don't think they're growing them in it is because you see, like, 3 in here. Now, why would they be randomly inside it? You know? They also have no desire to leave, so I feel like, because the door is open, they could just jump out and maybe they get hurt, but they obviously don't care about that. I think that they're reprogrammed to seek out these energy pod sources to like recharge and basically biofeed themselves. So it's like an instinct that they've been given. Are you butt fucking me? Yeah, so that's one mystery solved. The pods, I'm pretty sure, are for feeding them. This, because that's the thing the game wants me to do. The game is trying to get me to do a thing. Jump to the rhythm, jump to the rhyme. Yeah. I think that's pretty cut and dry, though. For sure. Like, I think that's definitely the theory to go with there. Hopefully we'll see more evidence to back that up, but I feel like that's strongly implied at this point. They're not even trapped inside. It's like they're drawn to the pods, which means, yeah, it's probably an energy source for them, right? Yep. Some more dudes. Skip that. I didn't realize that the last time I played. Hopefully we do see more evidence for it, because I feel like that's enough evidence for me to believe that theory, but it's not enough for me to be like, okay, this absolutely has to be like the only theory. Because it's like, I would prefer like, you know, beyond a shadow of a doubt kind of like level, right? Which, to be fair, that isn't that level of evidence, but it's pretty strong. Ding. Definitely need more for this area, but I think we can gather up a couple more guys here. pretty sure we need a few more dudes. Interessante. Väldigt interessante. I'm just like absorbed in like trying to spot any details here. Any little bits of information. If we can't do it with this many guys, then you have a problem. Okay. Just throw me across. Ooh. Oh, yeah, there's a puzzle I gotta do here. Fair enough. Again. I don't know why they're in the minecart. Guess that's how they get transported around. But right here. Late. A little earlier. Up a little bit of momentum. Ooh. Getting greedy. I want like full speed. I want to launch him. Easy peasy. See if there's anything to the left here. I don't think there is, but we can take a quick look. Excuse me. Nothing. Cool looking stone, however. Well, I guess games that have this art style would probably be like Below as well. It's not really the same kind of game. I would love to play Below. There's not a lot of stuff to comment on. Not that I, you know, like, I like to stream games that I can comment on because that's kind of more what I like to watch. There's a lot of streams that just do gameplay, or they sort of like just point things out that are happening, and that's about it. It's like nothing wrong with that. Just like there's nothing wrong with not wearing pants. Like this guy has no pants. Except it's illegal in most places, but other than that. Okay. I think we need a couple more dudes. This is such a quiet, kind of like quiet game. It's got a lot of ambient background noise. It's sort of like got a hushed, I wouldn't say oppressive, but it holds you in rapt attention for sure. So yeah, they transport them in these little cages too. It's an interesting society. See, the thing about this is like, is it evil to use like how much sentience do these undead dudes have? It's definitely pretty icky. Like, I don't know if I would be very accepting of this, but it's like, well, they still have like, I mean, it's like, ugh. Zombie labor. I mean, yeah, it's recycling. It's like, it's kind of like cannibalism, right? It's like, cannibalism in itself is icky. It's not like evil though. Killing people to eat them is definitely bad, but like, if they die normally and then you eat them, it's like, well, besides the fact that it's icky, there's nothing wrong with it, like on a factual level or ethical level. Would I think it's cool? Probably not. It's a little weird for sure. Same with the zombie laborers, pretty weird. Don't think I could be too accepting of this, but again, it's like different cultures have different norms. In this culture, it's totally okay to do this. It's probably considered a good thing to be recycled, I imagine. I recycle people who are even of their own like culture and stuff, so it's not like, I mean, they've just been told it's like, yep, it's a great way to make the world run. That way it frees up the living to do other things, right? Besides just grunt work. That's an answer to capitalism, I guess. Not within our reach, but biotech is definitely something that we're very low on the technology totem compared to like computer science and stuff. Maybe for the best, but we are just terribly bad at it. It's like humanity could have done way more bioscience, but I think humans just find bioscience and biotech very icky, generally speaking. So, don't kill me, please. Ikke drep meg, vær så snill. Vær så snill. Get up. You got work to do. Okay, so that's the testing site. So the weird thing about this is that we have a mine which has been abandoned for quite a while. Like the tracks are in disrepair and stuff. Next to, I believe this is a testing site we'll see next, although I could be wrong. This little machine here's gauge keeps wiggling whenever this thing goes off. I don't know if it's actually measuring it or if it's just like getting smacked. I assume it's measuring something. It's kind of interesting. Maybe that's evidence for the city-state theory, because it's really weird to have like your weapons area next to the mining area, unless space is at a huge premium. So maybe that is evidence for the city-state situation. I was kind of expecting to get a guy up here, I'm not gonna lie. We gotta eat him. Treat him to the yeetin'. Give him the full yeetment. That's the last guy we needed, I'm guessing. Man, I feel like we didn't discover everything that was to find here. I'm like hungry for more knowledge. I don't know what else you could look at though, right? I don't want to leave this area quite yet though, because I'm kind of like, we'll have to take another quick look around. I don't know what the hell else there's to see, if anything, though. Yeah, it's definitely, yeah, there's minecart tracks there. It's for like loading up, you know, ore or coal or whatever. So for sure, one might assume it's coal energy, but they do have oil drums, so that makes me think that this is for mining energy. That could be the case. Usually you suck oil out of the ground though, so maybe it's actually supplies coming in. I don't really know. It's interesting though. Was there anything else on the bottom that there was to see? I don't really think so. Man, I'm sorry for like wasting people's time, but like I really don't want to leave here if there's even one important clue left to find, because we did see that pod thing, which was a big clue. Because they definitely weren't in that pod randomly. It's kind of weird, right? So I don't really see any other like major clues here though. Maybe it's just my lack of perception. Perspicuity. Ah, you bitches. You bitches. Now I gotta do the whole puzzle again. Everyone has to go down. You evil bitches. Oh, that's whatever. Maybe I should look down here anyways. More mine carts. Yeah, nothing else. Fluorescent lighting. So this is a more modern day mine. That is something, like, it's definitely like mines. Usually it's done with machines though, but it doesn't necessarily mean there aren't machines here. This is definitely more like modern mining infrastructure for sure, or they've updated it. I'm sorry for slowing the game down, but you can't come back here. I'm just really hoping to find one major clue, but I don't think it's really gonna happen. Oops. You can watch. Oh, give me that. I feel like I'm an idiot. I just totally feel like I've missed something. Wait, can you go down further here? I doubt it, right? No, definitely not. No, get on the platform. This is very risky to come back here because you could soft lock the game or some shit. Could be super uncool. Alright, well, I guess that's it. No. I wish I could get a clue as to what they were mining. There isn't a lot to go on. The room up top had some sort of machinery in it. I'm not really sure what that was about. Sorry, I'm just being very cautious. You know how it is. We want to find every piece of clue we can get our hands on, every scrap of information. Let's make the game a little bit bigger. It's kind of sloppy of me. And to help us like solve this problem here. But yeah, these barrels, they make me very curious. They are spilling out of the train cart things, I think. And that makes me think. It could be supplies in or out, though. That's the thing. Sorry, I'm being so cautious of this part, but it's like... I really feel like there's some extra clues here. Nope. Nothing. Bupkis. I guess the only other thing of note is that there is like large walls in here, which kind of gives me like it's a defense sort of a vibe. So again, that kind of supports the city-state idea that at one point the society was like at war or was like under threat of war of other civilizations or whatever. But it's kind of very soft. Plus that could be very old wall. I don't really know the timing of it. We're doing like game archaeology. This is pretty much what you're forced to. Did I go too high up? I don't remember. I don't think so. I'm a dumbass. More barrels up there. I think the barrels are the supplies coming in. So you see them up there where there's more machinery, so they're probably being used for that. So I don't think it's what they're mining here. Plus oil, you don't usually have to mine out like that. Oh. We're missing Jimbo. There we go. Okay. This marker thing clearly shows us that these workers were not abandoned here because this is their way of making sure that they've accounted for all of the worker resources. So these weren't just people that died here in a tragedy like I earlier supposed. They're actually like drone workers. They're being used here for labor. So they've been brought in for the purposes of like working in the mine. And someone's job was like to control them or whatever using this helmet. This is a time in the game where we see the helmet being used to actually fulfill the purpose that I suppose that it is meant for, which is controlling like a large group of people at once to do like manual labor. And obviously my argument, I've probably said this before, is that the blob is just meant to free human beings from that labor of even like managing the workers, because the blob has like multiple helmets on it and can manage like an entire city's worth of workers just by itself, I assume is the goal. So yeah. Apparently the workers will not leave out here though. They know better than that. Oh, broke my helmet. I don't want it. Okay, this is another extremely interesting part of the game. This game is so dense with like visual storytelling and lore. Holy shit, that was my one warning. I was behind the cover, good sir. Lame. Run! Run for it, you little shit. But that time I was not behind the cover, I admit it, but... Maybe it's for the best. Maybe I should look around a bit here for a second. So I'm like expecting to see more clues up ahead, but... Okay, we see... I feel like that's a road and another giant gate wall, which kind of gives me defensive vibes. Like it's a fortress or something, right? Let's just wait for it to go again, because I'm like paranoid. This broke? Oh no, it didn't. What are these antenna things? Now that's interesting. Did they channel the blast or something like that? Is it like a accelerator gun that like pushes the force along and uses energy to like keep it outwards? Or are they sensors or something like that? We'll never know. Yeah, let's maybe get a good look at them up close. Oops. Too greedy here. Okay, hopefully we can make it to this part. What's this do? Stops it. I think it's a red herring though, right? Like you're supposed to go while it's in motion. Oh, you can time it to the blast though. I see. Let's try that. Should be about right. Okay. Oh, wow, assuming it's synced up. Weird blast noises. Let me hide here for a second. Okay. The music's suddenly changing to be a little more upbeat. Oh, I'm gonna be a little too slow here. This is obviously a defensive weapon, right? It's meant to destroy anything being sent to this mining facility. So we're kind of looking at some sort of feudalism, right? Like very defensive fortress structure style combat. Siege orientated. Maybe this is meant to deter nuclear weapons to a certain degree because it'll blast them out of the air before they can get close. A lot of thought that was put into this game. Not do this in time for some strange reason. Okay, so you have time to jump back on it. But you have to wait till the blast goes off. It's like dancing. The dance of death! Oh. Jigga death! Oh. It's quite the defensive weapon. It was a little less like jibbing of me. Oh, dude. It's that easy. Ooh. Okay, this is interesting. These are test dummies. Like crash test dummies, right? So is this an experimental facility and this isn't actually... Or is it both? Maybe it's actually being used as active defense, but they're also running experiments on it at the same time. Could be both. There's no reason it can't be both. Yo. Little robot arm here is definitely to help with manufacturing or something like that. To go and comes back around. Hopefully this is timed alright. So it looks like this society, they were building roads out here. And during the road building, their apocalypse actually happened in the middle of the road building. And it was so sudden that this arms seems to even be like doing its thing. That's kind of interesting. Well, maybe, I don't know, maybe it got accidentally turned on, to be fair. I don't really know. It's like a puzzle thing, so they could just come up with an excuse for that. Why did they abandon building this road, though? That's kind of interesting. I don't know. That's a curious one. I wish I... Oh, I fucked that up. Badly. Very, very badly. It will be very painful for you. Stop. Yeah, I don't want to leave yet, though. I think we're safe down here, right? Oh, some cars down there. That's kind of interesting. I feel like these antenna things are what's directing the blast. I can't tell if it's purely defensive or testing or both or whatever. We do see more experimental rooms maybe up ahead, so that would maybe indicate experimentation, but what is with the road building? Was it maybe the road's just for a simulation purpose though? See how it performs against cars? I don't know. I really don't freaking know. I wish I knew, but I didn't. I don't know. Man, that's all the hint we're gonna get for that, eh? And we have to leave immediately. How dare you? I was reaching for my chocolates. Rascals. Never trust an elevator. I've played Half-Life. I know the score. Can you escape? Can you escape from anywhere? Maybe if I wasn't a dumbass. Hooray! Too bad I'm still gonna die. Cool. Barely made it. A little bit of anxiety expressed by our character. Maybe we're not totally a drone. I mean, if I see evidence against my theory, I'll try to point that out too, but... Oh. But again, it's kind of hard to argue the fact that when you unplug your character, it falls to the ground, right? Ooh, I've made a big mistake. I regret everything. Not much to see out there anyways. What's up here? A bunch of boxes. What's this about? Oh, what? Sushi back here? or is it not really? Speed, speed, speed is key. No. Oh, it just kills me. Speed is not key. Timing is key. These puzzles are actually pretty hard. What? Oh, now I'm dead. Got him. Another kind of hint that you're being controlled is that, you know, when you die, it's like you usually break your legs, you don't just fall immediately and be like, oh, I'm dead. It's like, nah, usually you're gonna like bleed out or something. I mean, you could argue they just don't want to animate that because it's too gruesome, but there's also kind of another hint that, you can't press this while it's going up, eh? Freedom. What the hell? I can't even... Am I just failing my jump? Am I the dumbass? Probably. I can't just be that. I'm just not jumping far off. I didn't realize this was Super Mario Bros. Yeah, so the name of this game is called Inside. How could you be any more obvious, you might say? Say something we don't know. But it does imply a sort of infiltration, right? Which does sort of back up the whole city-state thing. Where it's like, this is the heart of the... For the love of God. I don't really know. You kidding me? Bro. Oh, you can move this. Oh my God. Wait, you can move this? You can't move it. I am stupid. I am skill issuing hard right here. What could possibly be the answer to this? You can't actually make that jump there, right? What the devil? Is there something that we need for this part? What the deuce? You've reduced me to a nervous husk of a man with one puzzle. You know what? I wanted that to happen. You have a fresh restart. There's something down here that we need? I mean, this door is still open. Can't imagine we're going to need barrels. Death. Is death what we need? Nothing there. Nothing up my sleeve. I really don't think we need anything in there, do we? What happens if we get off of this? What does that do? Anything different? Not really. Man, I'm actually getting stuck on this puzzle for a minute. Watch me suffer. No. You must go. is my mood right now. Is there anything over here? Nope. Can't be anything in the water. Right. You're just supposed to jump across the rope really quickly, because I don't think you can do that. Can we bring any boxes from here? No. Is there anything to... Can we push them? No. Can we sing? Can we dance? Can we live? You know, maybe that's all you have to do. Damn, that's a tough jump, though. It's kind of dumb. That can't be it, right? Oh my god, amazing. Fantastic. Alright, oof. Oof. Oh my god. This is like a storage area for sure. Some kind of warehouse. There's intercoms on it for commands and stuff. Let's look around a bit. Maybe this is just all storage area. We haven't seen much manufacturing, to be fair, although we do know that they have robotics, just like our day and age does, because they were building the highway with them. They seem like they're in fairly good repair. A couple of them are still working, so we can assume they're still something people use. Whoa. We just... Puzzles. What's this do? I see. Okay. I think we need to go you. Let's just go first. Jump! This shit. I didn't want to do that. You saw nothing? I don't know why we need to do this, but I changed the status quo, and that's all I'm out here trying to do. Politically in my puzzles. It's changing the status quo both ways. I don't know if there's... Hopefully I didn't miss anything to look at there, but whatever. You little shit. This one's got wires sticking out of them. Wait, can we stop here or does it like kill us? Well, I guess I'll drown, right? Okay, we see some sort of tape machine, like old-timey computer. Something's hooked up to that machine at the bottom. I'm not really sure what that's about. This is a testing facility. We can tell because there's like a 3 on the glass there. So this is like a labeled viewing window for purposes of like recording stuff. So it wouldn't be like observations and like viewing window 3 if they wrote down their notes or whatever. That's the point of that, I think. We see the wires here, so these are obviously test subjects. Not much else to say about this except the box is obviously like some kind of experimental device. Not really sure what it's for. Oh, let me see how it is. You're gonna be a dick about it. Honestly, I kind of have to let them kill me because I want to see if they do actually kill you. Yeah, it looks like they're trying to choke me to death. So some of them are just hostile because of reasons, I guess. I'm not really sure what the deal with that is. Some of them have their own agenda of just turning you into fish people. Fish? Lamai. Lamai. Sleep mai. Lamai borte. Anything over there? We just want to get far away. That's going to be very helpful, but you don't understand swimming. What a dumbass. So there's huge containers here. It could be for chemical processing, so this could be like an industrial zone for manufacturing later. Which again, because we see the mining next to the weapons testing, next to the industrial zone, it really does promote this city-state idea that like, whoops, this is the remnants. I do not want to do that. I regret everything. You get the bird. That's the prize you win. Hope you enjoyed it. So yeah, because things are so densely put together, it's like very much the city-state mentality. Like, because normally you sort of put those things apart from each other, like in a regular city planning. There's no reason to have them all in the same area. Can it close there? But yeah, it looks like perhaps there's like some sort of techno-feudalist, kind of capitalist feudalist sort of thing. Cyberpunk 2077 has the same theme, where it's like Night City's kind of like basically a city in sort of a siege state. They have to be relatively independent. They have pretty much local autonomy. Can run it however they want. Just gonna dive, go for the 10-pointer. And it's a beautiful dive! I didn't need to close that door. Whoa! You have to keep me on my toes there. These look like gauges for running electricity. It's interesting. And he's gonna kill me. Nope. Let's live to fight another day. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. He likes to move it. What are we supposed to do here? Oh, we gotta swing it. Huh? What the hell? What is the point? Far out of Vitsin. What's the point? Oh god, you little shit. There's a button down there. What could possibly be the point of all that? I think it's supposed to buy us time. We like come over this way. Oh, I am the dumbass who is dumb. That'll lure the mer person to the left, and then we can swing back to the platform and buy ourselves a lot of time. It's like a fish hook. How appropriate. And we just jump here, and then we jump here, down here. Well, that doesn't look like it bought us much time at all. What the devil? Okay. I think we just need to go further to the left. Surely, if we just do the same plan again, it'll work the second time. That's 2 birds in one day. Ah, Yobbit. Well done. This guy's a little cranky. Maybe we have to jump to the left platform, lure him a little further, jump back to the chain, and then we jump all the way to the end. Or not. I feel like that's not... Wait, it didn't even lure him. Okay. I don't like this puzzle as much as the others. I think it's a bit... What is the point? Obviously, we have to buy ourselves time. He doesn't get lured unless you're on the actual platform, which I was not really sure that would be the case. No, you can't get back. You can get back from the left, but you can't go back on the right unless you use the hook. I don't really know what you're supposed to do here, to be honest. I guess these puzzles are hard, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Maybe this isn't my favorite, but honestly, if you're playing solo, it's probably a good puzzle because it's like an actual bit of a brain teaser. You just can't get swinging, you know? Oh, you can't jump back up to that either. Okay, so that doesn't work at all. I think I'm just not low enough. I have to get lower on the hook to lure the mer person. That's probably it. Doing my best. Yeah, but oh, if I do like that, yeah, I gotta put my toe over it. I'm not enough of a tease. This is my problem. I think this is my problem generally in life. Surely. Ah, there we go. Oh, right. He has to get right in the... Oh. Oh, and then he, like... And he leaves you alone after you do that. After you tease his booty. Then you swim to the button. And you slap at the button. And you swim under the thing. Then he loses you. Ha ha! What a dumbass. We clear today. We did it. Not much to see down here. Oh, you know, it's a pretty good puzzle. It's very tense. There's a lot of horror vibes in here. Oh, you little shits. Ugh. Another giant wall area. Leading further into the facility. Very much Portal 2 vibes. Deeper inside Vimodra we must go. Yeah. Oh, push it. I wonder what the word for push is. Ite? Maybe? What's that thing in the background? Hey, it's glowing. That's what we'll try today. I have no idea. There's one in the foreground too. They're like little boxes. So this area is very Akira inspired, I feel. For sure. Oh, it's like one of those little go-karts. Oh, this is probably a bad idea. It's good. I want to see another death scene. I think they are trying to kill me for sure. I think they're trying to kill me. You're crazy. They're trying to kill everybody. Catch-22 reference. One of the main characters. Oh! Love death scenes. Yes. Now I see why Jacksepticeye want the no death run. It's so much nicer. I don't know how much time you can buy yourself here, but can you swim a little slower, please? We're supposed to lure him this way. Oh yeah, he goes back. You have time to go under here now? Frig. Nope. Okay. Oh, the door stays up until you press the button again. That's very different from what we've been dealing with up till now. Fremdeles. Alright. I may be dumb, but I'm not that dumb. God. Why is it so picky? Does it matter, yo? Game for real. Just give me the candy. I thought I wasn't a very good tease, so this game's too much of a tease. The candy. Let me proceed. Pretend I'm bad at games. Oh, dude. Oh my god. I don't like it. Yeah, iki leaky. Ike. Over here, little dipshit. Hopefully that's far enough. Probably is annoying how like tight I like to cut things in this game. Okay. Please. Oh, he's so fast. Oh no. Failed once again for all eternity. I knew it wasn't close enough. The baiting. This is why I just play strength-based characters. Then you can just whoop them. It's easier. It's so simple. Press C. Ugh, little shit. So creepy, yo. Oops, that was not close enough. Okay, that could not have been any closer, really, so if it doesn't work now, I'm gonna be a little sad. Is this me, or are you swimming slower than I've ever seen him swim before in his life? Goltjort. Well done. Goltjort. Probably mispronouncing that a little bit, but it's what it is. Okay. That was a tough one. What's in this room? Oh, I don't know actually what that is. What is that? That's funky. Some kind of machinery, I think, but I actually have no idea what that is. Is it an elevator mechanism? It looks like it's attached to this. I don't know. Beats the bananas out of me. Look at some more stuff around here. It's like a destroyed walkway. Secret testing facilities. Oh, and the auto gets you. Thank God, because that means this is the part where you don't have to ever deal with it again. So the thing about this is you do see them like choking you and stuff, but it's hard to tell if they were always trying to do this where they like give you the powers, or if they were just actually trying to kill you each time. I see, like, they straight up just kill you here and then bring you back to life. So I feel like the answer is maybe they were always good guys from the start, or maybe some of them behave differently and this is just a nicer one of them. I don't know. Like, they want to help you on your journey, but it's just like you didn't realize they're trying to help you, and they can't talk, so they're just like desperately, because they know it's like key to your success. The underwater breathing thing's super useful. I'm not sure. This one at least is clearly on your side. The other ones, were they clearly on your side? I don't think we'll ever know. You can maybe tell from their body language, but honestly, this one behaves the same as the others, so maybe like they were always trying to do this. I think the idea, it would seem to me that the idea is that they can kill you by drowning you, and then as long as they attach you to the machine within like a few minutes, so it's pretty generous, like you can be just straight up dead, it will bring you back to life and give you the like water breathing power. So maybe they were always trying to help you out. Or maybe they are a weird cult that believes everyone should have underwater breathing powers because it's good or something. They like to share. And what's wrong with that? Oh, I know Jacksepticeye said that the fish was like attracted to him because of like the magic of the underwater breathing. I'm like, dude, have you ever stuck your feet into the river? Like, fish get attracted to everything, man. They just want to nibble your dead skin and shit, and then eventually eat you. Like, that's how they survive. Like, sorry, I don't think that's a very sound theory. Don't want to be too mean about it. Just, I don't know if I believe that one quite as much. You'll have to watch his latest stream and see what you think. I'm sure I didn't get to hear everything that he said because I was listening to what my brother was playing, and the game music kind of was over top of it. Oh, he also had this theory where it's like the fish people have destroyed the facility. I'm like, dude, they're children. I don't think they could have wreaked this much havoc. This is clearly some sort of apocalyptic event, maybe some failure of capitalism. Maybe it's a war thing, although to be honest, I don't see much like evidence of weapon destruction, you know? There'd be like holes in things, right? Bomb explosions, bullet holes. Something. We don't see any of that. So this makes me think that in this world, capitalism has just suffered a massive failure because it's an unstable system. And this is just where we're at now. This is a net here. I wonder if this is for catching fish or what. Not too sure. Some dead people around here. Interesting. I don't know what that net's about. That's very interesting. Maybe it's just to catch things that are falling debris. I love these fish. They're super cool. What a great little visual. Like, it does add to the sense of magic. Now you can just live underwater. It's so free. That's what makes me think that I think the mer people are always supposed to be friendly. It's just the game cuts out because it's not like plot-wise the time for you to get caught. And they're always just trying to give you the underwater power. And I think they're just like weird hippie people who like living off the grid. They're like, oh, this is a much better way to live your life. If you can be underwater forever, being a fish is like fantastic. And part of what makes me believe that is that like, this part just feels nice. Like, it's like, oh, that'd be so cool. You could be free from a lot of concerns. You're just floating like a fish. Look at all the free food here too. It's most food I've seen. Just eat a couple of these suckers. Pretty good deal if you ask me. Some more VHS tapes. A lamp. Yeah, not a lot of clues here. The netting is very interesting. I don't know what that's about. TBH. This is the biggest mystery. Like, what is this netting? No idea. will remain forever a mystery. Until some other wacko person comes up with a wacky theory. Explain that, I don't know. Anywho. These... What kind of room is this? Is this like a doctor's office or something, eh? Look like IV drip bags, maybe. Stuff like that. Could be. Not too sure. We have an aquarium tank. So it looks like this is an underwater testing facility. Maybe that wasn't always an aquarium tank there. It must be a viewing room. We've seen those before. Well, we obviously saw the underwater dudes earlier, so some of this area was definitely for underwater testing. So this is like a Bioshock type universe where they're trying to create, like you know, either laborers that can work underwater. My brother actually suggested that one, or so people can live underwater as like citizens. It's just they thought it'd be a better way to, safer way to build a city. That's the plot of Bioshock, right? If you have a city underwater, then you can't be threatened by governments with militaries very easily. So it offers you, affords you a level of freedom. You know, that's kind of basically what the idea with Bioshock. But of course it's a little idealistic. I think we're supposed to go through that, so I'm just kind of looking around. There's not a lot to see here. It's a very beautiful scene. I love the ambient music pulsing in and out. If you're a big fan of this kind of music, I highly recommend Googling Sybient music. Google 16-bit Sybient. There's a guy that I really like who does a track with that. There's a lever up here first. There we go. Oh, God. Surely. Oh, I was gonna say, one of these buttons will do it. My name isn't Monkey Bob. It's not, I guess, so. It rhymes. Oh, this is one of those big lifts. That's very Akira-esque. So this is just a secret area. There's not much to see here, but we'll get this anyways. Unfathomable. How you could have took so long in that last puzzle's unfathomable. Were you born this stupid, or did you have to work at it? Can we just like ride these fish? Make like a big chariot out of them? Yeah, fish, yeah. That was cool. Wasn't too many clues there. The problem with the secrets is they don't really offer too much extra information typically. But yeah. A big metal butthole of destiny. I know. What's up here? Light. And not much else. Blinded by the light, whipped up like a deuce, another runner in the night. Blinded by the light. Open. Open, you gaping bootle. Do not chomp me in half, and open. Tusen tak. Oh, we need this. Whatever this is, we need that. Yeah, brother. Ooh, gross. Proceed. This place makes boot camp look like Disneyland. Whoa. My footsies. Rude. Up here. Very cute. Cute. I would love to get to Norway. I cannot wait to get out of this hellhole. It is like the thing that haunts my dreams. I'm sure the standard of living is only like a fair bit better than Canada, but to me, it'd make all the difference in the world. I'm just tired of the totalitarian mentality that Western Canada especially has. I think it's partly just a Western Canada problem, but it is a problem. It's just so annoying. Oh, min good. Min good Himmelen. You little shit. Ah. Rude. We really need to finish this game in one sitting today. I kind of want it to, but oh, I'm a dumbass. Okay, you gotta wait for it to go the further direction. Okay, pretty easy, hopefully. Oh. You're streaming, you got so much to think about that it's like, okay. It's pretty easy to look like you are the dumbest person in existence. Wrong button. We have enough time over here, but it's alright. Holy shit, I thought that would kick in earlier. Loop for day. Run for it. Loop for day. I think this should be. I would probably have to get it all the way down, so we have a platform. Good. We'll wait. En mer. I don't know what the word for cycle is. Or iteration or whatever. Norwegian. It's a lot I don't know. Still. Cool. Okay, what is this? What is this? It looks like some kind of turbine. Is it a particle accelerator? Vad I alla världen är detta? What in all the world is this? I'm gonna go with maybe particle accelerator. Kanske, maybe. Muligens, possibly. Oh shit! That was a bad jump. Okay, so this is not the orb that we saw earlier. Remember that thing we were gonna take a mental image of that? This is not that. It's definitely different looking. Some more pods in the background. That's kind of interesting. Okay. Cute. I keep forgetting I can swim underwater forever, so I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. But nope, there's just fish here. Okay, Jacksepticeye pointed out something interesting here. Is that this thing's full of water, but there's like fish in it. How did the fish get in here? I just assume there's a leak somewhere and you can't see it, like a crack. But yeah, you definitely can't see anything like that. I guess you can only assume. There's a leak. I mean, how'd the water get in here, right? I mean, it didn't just fill up from rain. I doubt. So, it must be a leak, right? You just can't see it. I suppose. Oh, here are more of these pods. I mean, they must be for, like, providing sustenance to the labor dudes, right? That has to be it, right? There's no guarantees in this world, my friend. Okay, so all these dudes are connected to these boxes. This is very similar to the box we saw in the O3 viewing room chamber with the box on the ground. These are kind of red, but it's the same shape. And that was where we saw the mer person connected to the wires. So I'm just saying that's similar. Keep that in mind. more something there. Oh, shit. It's a trap. It's a hole. En slemme filler. Felle? Et slemme. En slemme felle. A mean trap. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Is that all there was to do up there? Can't be. Couldn't be. It mustn't. It shouldn't. I'm losing my mind. I'm just quoting the Grinch randomly now. Just absolutely losing it. Oh. More shit. A door. What the hell? Back in here. Back in action, boys. We have to do the big loop of truth. Jump. I think that's closed now, which is probably what we need. I'm sure there's some shit over here. What do these boxes do? I'd like to see the upper area, so I can guess. Oh, being good. There are inventing overheat. That's how you say that, I don't know. Nothing over here. Why can't I just instantly speak fluent Norwegian? Wait, now we can't go down there because the hole's closed. What? Oh, that kind of sucks. Did I work myself? Are you serious? Do I have to go all the way around? What could I possibly have needed to do down there? Oh, it's like a mug on that one. See? A little coffee cup. That's interesting. Put a character there. Yeah, there's nothing to do over here, eh? I hot today. I don't like it. I hate it. So I closed this, but it did me no good whatsoever. What's under this, out of curiosity? Just closes. Oh, that's probably not good. Oh. You're telling me I have to go all the way back because I didn't read your mind. Can I go to the left of this pod? Nah, they are immuable. It is not possible. You know, I'm getting a little annoyed with the puzzle, so I'm just using my time to practice Norwegian. I really do need to... I'm mostly working on my listening skills right now. Because my reading's very strong, but listening is not so good. Okay, I'm going to close that again, because I feel like since it started in the open position, we want to invert it, or whatever. What's this button? Oh yeah, this is the free one. Free the cubes. Be free! Rise! Revolt! Oh, I know. I gotta bop it. Gotta smack it and bop it. Slap it, twist it. Oh, oh yeah. Silence! One of these. Go forth! That's pretty cool. Jacksepticeye was all like, angular momentum. Yes, angular momentum. Okay, I see. It's so simple. Let's actually do it. Rise, my child! Ah. Just losing it. Been playing for too long. Actually lost it. He's cracked. Sploosh. The VHS tapes kind of sort of imply that that's like experimental footage, so they can review what they see. Okay. T4 Tilo doubled up. Time to double up. Is that how you say that? No idea. T4 doubled up. Doubler up. Yeah, T4 doubler up. It might be it. I'm not sure. Not an expert. A little late, perhaps. Nope. They are perfect. Perfect. Cool. Okay, now we can get a good look at these dudes. They have worms sticking out of them. They don't look exactly like the worms we saw with the pigs. They could just be like, I don't know, whatever. Ooh. Then again, some of them are twitching, so maybe they are similar worms. They have the mind control devices on them. Interesting. Maybe they're experimenting on ways that they can get these guys to make like a bigger network of mind control devices so they can manage the labor better. Or maybe, since these are the same boxes, they look similar to the box that the mer person was in the experimental room, that this is just their way of testing the underwater livability on these creatures, these zombie creatures. This one's special, it's got 2. Wow. Why does it have 2? Are these like the prototypes for the blob thing that we're gonna see later? Why are they suspended in water? I don't know. I don't heckin' know. Does it bother me that I don't know? No. Yes, it does bother me a lot. I want to know. I wish we could tell more information. Okay, we do see that these are like kind of like the helmets, but not really, and that they're hollowed out though, which is a little different. It's difficult to say whether they are. To be fair, they're on their head most of the time, so it really makes me think that they are the control stations for the mind control stuff. So maybe these guys, they're experimenting with like this is kind of like a sensory deprivation chamber too. Maybe it like helps them send signals, and they're experimenting with like ways to improve or change the control process, the direction process for the labor, the zombie labor. Hard to say. The worms definitely imply that they're like got loose in here, and it's like, but these guys are too far gone for it to work on them. They can't be zombified. Was that important? Is that all we came up here for? Secret Ike? Surely not. Ah. Call in the local villagers. This side too, perhaps? Okay. I'm too busy looking at things to actually solve the puzzles. What is all this up here, too? Like, for real. We got giant pods. Some sort of, like, possibly energy cells, but we're not really too sure. A big, open, circular thing. What is all of this? It just looks cool. Maybe that's the whole point. Maybe the developers didn't think it through that much. Nah. We must never lose faith. Never give up hope. Aldri Gi. Gimai. Never give up. Aldri Gisai. Never give yourself up. Not too sure. We're still not really clear on what those boxes are. Oh, more zombie workers. These ones have uniforms. That's kind of interesting. Box. I don't know what the word for box is. I think square is vierkant. Maybe it was that shape. Oh, do they hide behind this? Oh yeah, wait, there's another child there. With a red cap. These are workers that are currently actually in use. They're much better kept than the other ones. They're all like got uniforms and they're clean and everything. Let's go watch this. The kid kind of runs off with the father, sort of looking around. There's like a bunch more of them in the back too. This is the storage for them. So yeah, they get these zombie dude worker guys and then they use them to do projects and stuff. Creepy, yes. Evil? No. Creepy. It's like questionable to a certain degree, but it's certainly like I don't think it's doing anyone any actual harm. I don't think there's zombifying living people. As far as I've seen, there's no evidence for that. This is a testing chamber. Hmm. Guess no one notices me in here. What are those things in the back? I cannot see. I have no idea what that is. I really would like to know, but they're like boxes of some sort with lights on them. What are we supposed to do here? Kind of a dumbass. Let's just press buttons and hope it works. Surely this will solve our problem. Yeah. I don't really know how that would solve anything. To be fair, I didn't try jumping up, but I feel like I was way too high up for that. Do we need more boxes into this room? Is that the deal? What would we use multiple boxes for? Does it mean? The numbers, what do they mean? Oh, we can use it to get up to the water level. You see, yeah, that's all it is. Whoa. Okay. It's so simple. It's in the computer. This is a very quiet part of the game. Which, yeah, Jacksepticeye points out pretty often they use silence to great effect here. And throughout, for surely. Need the water level just at the absolute... Actually, we can't do that yet because we haven't moved the box. Here. I apologize that I don't know these levels that well, but that's what it is. This is the more serious experimental area. So we got all the functioning computers and electronic graphs and stuff. Jump. Alt for let. And I can only advise, I know it's like kind of a dumb thing to say because most people can't do it because they don't have the opportunity, but get out of fucking North America when you can. This place is a hellhole. It's gonna get worse, I swear to God. It's kind of a conspiracist thing for me to say, but I just actually believe that. I feel like it's my duty to remind people that there's other countries out there. I don't think anything great's happening. I think there's been a lot of economic problems and problems with the government system and the legal system where they can't get anything done, and it's getting worse. And yeah, the US might start turning to shit like tyrannical governments, Caesar type, dictator type people. You know, they love to pretend like they're democratic, but they do have to maintain power at the end of the day, and I'm sure they can figure out a way to justify something like that and tell people that it's good for them at the same time somehow. Alright, I can swim forever now, I keep forgetting that. Oh, cool. There's like a dude there. Oh, they're doing something with the box. For the love of God. Okay, they're turning that one off. Why? Wait, kill me. Kill me. They deactivated that one for no reason. Interesting. So these are still research projects in progress. That's pretty interesting. Oh. Got him. Oh, these guys are still... Okay. Uh-huh. So... These guys are all research projects in progress. They just look like regular dudes. They're a little less misshapen than the ones we saw in the previous chamber with the worms in them. So these guys are a little fresher, maybe. Barely, though. Some of them are just straight up missing their heads. I'm not really sure why they have them suspended upside down in the water, but... Clearly this is like biological biotech experimentation, so that much is obvious, but... They have a bucket with sponges, so they must like clean them once in a while or something like that. Or maybe it's just simply to mop up water drips. I don't know. They have a drain as well. What do these boxes do? They've got the little plugins on their heads, right? But like, other than that, it's really hard to tell what they do. Can you guys lift me up here? Oh, interestingly, they follow my orders even without me having a helmet. Huh. That is a very interesting clue because that is extremely different. Like, up until this point, all of the drones have required a helmet. So these guys are special. Perhaps they're trying to experiment so they have just straight up telepathy. Oh, so this is the prototype for the blob monster that we see earlier. So these guys are trying to experiment with them having straight up like telepathy. Like they can read my, like maybe they're just following me around, but they behave like the other guys with the mind control devices, right? So I can assume they have the mind control capacity, but without the need for me to wear a helmet. These guys are probably their way of like perfecting the the uh, the blob's ability to control multiple labor dudes, but they're perfecting it on individual units, and then they're going to use the information they get from these experiments to try to perfect the blob making process. So these guys are like mini versions that they're just using to refine their technology, right? I think. I don't know. It's crazy. Some of them do have giant heads as well. So they're probably just like tweaking things in each of them to see what formula, what genetic combination creates the best for like the psychic ability and the mind control ability that they want. So when they make the giant blob creature later, it actually is effective. What? You can't get me all the way up there? You guys suck. You can do it here though, right? It's super interesting. More pods, more pods. Yeah, the only clue with the pods is we saw the 3 workers in the pods, so I can only assume they use them to... That one's glowing in the background. You do see glowing pods every once in a while. Maybe those are pods that are in use. In the foreground here, we've got a pile of meat. Corpses or whatever you want to call them. And a box of supplies. Not really sure what that's about. So yeah, this is definitely the prototyping. They're basically probably tweaking the genetics and just trying to like brute force figure out, okay, what combination is the best for creating like this biotech super brain thing that we can use later. Whoops. What? You can't get me up there? Bro, weak. Weak, bro. Do we need more of them? I can't do it right. Yeah, whatever. Let's just do what we can do. Quick chocolate. When I get closer to the end of the game, sometimes I end up blasting through them. Maybe a little too fast. It's exciting, right? Oh, but like wouldn't mind some more coffee too. Man, as much as we're getting like a lot of new clues here, and they're kind of being slow dripped to us, I still wish I had like more, you know? It's like I want stuff that really, you know, provides some conclusive new information. Let's go press the button on the way down. We're firmly in the realm of the part of the facility that's actually still in use, though. You have to keep that in mind. There's no longer a apocalyptic kind of zone territory. More meat carts over there. They also have pods. This is probably like the maintenance area where they bring them in and they pick which ones they want to experiment with and recharge them. Oh. Workers. These guys are just cleaning the facility and maintaining it. Even these workers follow me, so maybe my previous theory was wrong. But I don't require the helmet now. Is that because of the power I got from the fish people? Or are these just more advanced drones, so they just don't require the helmet? I have no idea. Wish I knew. I mean, why would the fish people have better psychic power, though? Alright. It does happen after you get the, like, thing injected into you, so... Maybe that's all I can assume. It's the only difference in event. It's either that or I have to assume that these workers work differently, but... It seems so kind of unlikely. Bye-bye. Whoa! Finally in the brains of the operation, the area with the guts. There's a lit cigarette on the table, so people were here just a minute ago. Big event. This is like a world-changing event that we're seeing because these people are running there, and they skipped out on work. So this is like an unveiling, and it was kind of a surprise and a shock to people, I think. So they're literally dropping what they're doing and running to go see it. Don't want to miss out. It's like surprise New Year's. That's pretty cool, though. Been obviously working on this for a while. I love these cool little computers, though, with the orange LCD, very 80s kind of screen. I don't know if that's like... It doesn't look like any real computer screen I've seen. It just looks cool, though. Anyways. Yeah, I feel like... I guess it's either the fish people's power. I'm not sure why that's happening. I mean, the litmus test, or whatever you call it, would be, do you see any normal people controlling the drones? Right? If you don't, then you can assume that my character's special, and the only thing that's changed is, like, a guy got injected earlier, so... I don't know what that's about. We did see one of the fish people being hooked up to one of those boxes, so maybe they also were working on powers like that as well. I wish I knew. Can we, Oh, I think I missed too is they have, like, IV bags and stuff lying around. That's interesting. Perhaps they perform... Oh, on the table is, like, actual body parts, maybe. So maybe they're performing surgeries to, like, change, you know, features and stuff so they can run experiments. Create better versions of the brain zombies, whatever they're trying to make, or maybe they're also performing autopsies to see if ones succeed at, like, providing the metrics that they're looking for. They can dissect them and see if there's any clue as to why that might be. Well, all aboard. Lift me up, please. For the great Unity blob. spooky music. It's very cool. I hope I don't have the sound too loud for that. Sound balance is always tricky. Like, yeah, I'm not a super experienced streamer, so sometimes I don't get it quite right. But it is typical. Most other streamers, unfortunately, have their sound a lot lower than their voice, so it is what it is. I guess you look up a soundtrack online, or I'm sure you could replay the game. I'm sure everyone who's watching this probably has played it. It's pretty short, but it has a really cool background sound now. I like it. It's like calming, but sort of like transcendent, maybe. This time it's a full-ass cigar. Richie. That's interesting because cigars are not cheap to make. Like, you have to grow the tobacco in the sun somewhere. If the world's destroyed, I wonder how they got that. Does that imply that there's an outside world, or do they have like little, you know, like little hydroponics tobacco growing stations with like fake light that they make the tobacco with? There's actually a key detail there. It implies one of two things. Either there's an outside world where they trade for tobacco still, and so there's like other societies that maybe work like this or work differently, or they have hydroponic stations to provide luxury goods for people who are like, you know, able to afford it if they have money in the society. To be honest, I see no indication there's any money whatsoever. You know, there's no vending machines. To be honest, it's like a Death Stranding universe where they just don't have money, basically. Maybe they have some other form of like currency, but it doesn't revolve around buying goods and services. Let's look around a little bit more. Got some open books on the table. A cigar. The smoke goes out on the cigar after a minute, so that heavily implies that it was recent. Like only maybe 30 seconds ago, this room was like someone was using that. It's very interesting. The phone's still swinging on the hook, so someone was here very, very recently. There's some headphones on the table. Listening to audio data maybe or something like that. One of those facility golf carts. Waste paper bin. Oh, there's someone in the window. He's looking at me, I think. Perhaps. That's interesting. The staircase is red. Red is a very rare color in this game. The kid that we saw very recently had a red baseball cap on. And again, he's got a red baseball cap, which indicates individuality. Like, this isn't like a dystopic universe where, you know, kids are sent to like brainwashing camps or something. They just like have their own normal lives. A little more evidence for that. This is obviously like an experimental chamber for some of their most recent stuff that they're experimenting on. Not really sure what it's about though. There's really no indication. It's just kind of supposed to be creepy. No hint as to what this room could be for. Oh, never mind. There's an operating table behind those screens, and there's a pool of blood under it. I see that now. So this is an operating theater. It could be an autopsy as well. So this is probably like their most intriguing specimens or whatever, and they're doing some like higher level analysis on it or something. It's interesting. Wonder what the operation's about, but there's no way to know that really. I assume they got up in the middle of the operation and left, and that's why this thing's like waddling around. There's another one kind of just hanging out. Machine's been left to go. I assume the water thing is sensory deprivation, right? That's what it reminds me of. And so maybe that's like a way for them to get a clear psychic signal from them. I don't know. Because the ultimate project here that everyone's drawn to is the blob. So that must be the fruit of their labor here. Which heavily implies that these bandage dudes are being used as prototype experiments to gain more information about how they can get zombies to become like a central nervous system. Like a big unifying bio blob that can control the labor to like free up even more people from doing work. Like, to me, I look at all of this as a whole, and I'm like, these guys are basically like champagne socialists. They're like, if only we could make a big bio blob, it would take care of all of our labor. It would free people to live like fully actualized lives, and we'd be focused on science or whatever else they want to do. I guess it's like there's some weird goal, except they do it with zombies because they're creepy. Makes for an interesting visual plot for sure. Something like that. I guess that's all the information we're gonna get from here. I guess we gotta move on. It's like the end of the game, so you know, I'm dragging my feet a bit. I can move this. This must be to get to a secret, right? Yeah, let's get this secret. Hopefully there's someone we can see too. Like how her rolls a bit. Jump. Jump to the rhythm, jump to the rhythm. One more chocolate. Freaking haunch going on here with all the shit that I eat. Are we supposed to go up here? Oh, right. This is where you have to go. Never mind. In that case, let's take a look at the window then. There's another operating room in the back there. Oh, it's just empty. I think that guy has operating gloves on. I wonder what they're expecting to happen. Something is definitely taking place in the experiment that has like really freaked people out. So the blob's doing some very weird behavior. Obviously, according to the theory I have, which is, I think, a very well-proven theory at this point, the blob's controlling us, so maybe it's displaying some strange behavior. Must be some pretty crazy stuff for these guys to come away from their workstation. This game is obviously heavily inspired from Akira. I would be surprised if it wasn't, at least. Very surprised. Okay. Now, this is the question I had earlier. Was the circle thing like one of the circles in here? I'm thinking not. Definitely not. Does not look the same. So just something I was wondering about, but... This music is very spooky. A bunch of fluorescent lights. This section's very Black Mesa-esque. By the way, Half-Life 1 is heavily inspired from Akira as well. In fact, the big lift thing in the game files was called an Akira lift. Like the Akira elevator, that's what that prop is named after. So they knew that it was like Akira was like the same That's where they got all their inspiration from, for the most part. A large chunk of it. That, and I think Stephen King's The Mist. I think they said was another big one. But it's cold in here. The coldness is also a reference to Akira. The big government projects that kept in an icy chamber for like a cool atmospheric effect. Go that way. This circle thing is also very Akira-esque. Oh, come on, what are we supposed to do here? Pretend I'm stupid. Surely there's something over here. Yes. Reaching the end of the game. The fun part. I don't know if we're going to find too many other clues after the fun part, so... Let's look at this if we can. This is very Half-Life-esque. Cool, cool. What's that lever up here do? Powers it down. Why would I want that? So we can get to this thing. Oh, that opens that. Interesting. So I just got to do a speed run. Not really sure what all this gadgetry is supposed to be, but it's a very transcendent vibe. You know, it's like we're literally becoming a superhuman creature. Okay, so these things, I'm pretty sure are just mind control helmets. I don't know why Jacksepticeye failed to notice this key detail, but like to me, I'm just like, are these not just mind control helmets? So this strongly implies that we are dealing with a blob that they're trying to use as a central nervous system to direct mini labor units, right? Strongly implies that. What happens if I go to the screen to the left? How do they react to me? Oh, they're angry, disconcerted. So they probably think I'm like a random kid in the tank and they're like yelling at me, right? They have no idea what's going on. I'm not a random kid. I am an agent sent by this very blob creature, no doubt. Oh, yep. See, it tries to grab you. Oh. Yeah. Interesting. Let's see if we can get it to grab me a bit. Oh, yep. Another one. Grabs you. It's like checking me out. That's cool. Oop. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, let's get some more of these helmets. Yeah, so they're using it to like direct more of the labor units, basically. It could just be that the reason those drones fall just without a helmet is that inside the facility there's better wireless connection, because we do see that our character is controlled by the blob wirelessly. So it could just be that's the main reason. Oh, that's good enough. It's like the helmets are off. I guess that prevents me distracted. Now I assume this is obviously the part where it's like, okay, so the boy goes inside the blob. Now the blob can control its own movement, right? Because it probably was not programmed to be able to do that earlier. Get 'em, boys! Woohoo! Oh. Ride 'em, cowboy. Eat 'em, cowboy. Out of my way. Oh, I think it'd be so easy, eh? What if I just do this? Fucking 3,000 pounds of arm muscle in here. You can't stop me. Ooh. Got him. They still follow us. Yeah, maybe it's just within the facility we have like a stronger ability to influence guys. We just smashed the wall. That's how heavy we are. Damn, that's impressive. And these guys all give us a boost. Nice. Oh, a little over the weight limit. Okay, so people say this diorama means that it was like all part of the plan from the beginning. Like, I'm sorry. Like, to me, let's look at this a bit more. This is just like for the purposes of like planning stuff when it comes to, because this whole base is in the side of a mountain, right? Which is probably for defensive purposes. This is just probably for like planning stuff or like just for like balls. Facilities probably often have tiny dioramas in them of like the area. I don't think it's that unusual. Everyone's just like watching us. They're like, well, there goes the budget for this year. Yimai. Wait, I think I need that, right? Up and over. Guy in the front with the big hams is doing a lot of the work there. Ugh. Can we go over top of it? Yeah. Love how we're like slightly green. This is like the ultimate experiment so far. We can see it in the light and all its nastiness. Yeah, so I think this is their attempt to do like a big central nervous system for all of the labor. And I'll just climb on it now. And up and over. This is a very cool area. Oh, wait, what's that in the background? Is that a vending machine I see? Do they have money? Actually doesn't mean they necessarily have money. It could just literally be free. It could be a coffee machine too. They often have those. It looks like a vending machine for soda pop. I'm not too sure. Yeah, wreck 'em. I love how this area is so fancy. Like, this is very much like modern decor. For sure. Yeah, the director. Everybody loves squashing the boss. Fuck him. Ooh, oh, God. Oh, yeah, boy. Oh, schmutz. We don't want to wash it. We gotta keep the schmutz. Try to run a little bit harder at it. Yeah, the one vending machine. Does that mean they have, money or what? Hard to say. I'm not gonna make any claims about it. Oh, okay, gotta go into the water, I guess. Yeah, what is that? Oh, one of our limbs fell off and it's like flopping around. Huh. Oh, we need this thing. Yeah. Charge! Press the button. Lift you, sons. Oh god, you're just the worst. Oh. That would be pretty hard. Come on, it's just one log. Oh, I missed it again. I'm a dumbass. It's hard, man. It's hard to watch. Oh, got it. Yeah. I'm not really sure what you expect to do there, dogs. What's this button do? Let's squash the dogs. Yeah, whatever. Oh, we probably want to bring this log onto this. Mine. Their meat. This is a really cool part of the game. So much, such a sense of momentum. So satisfying. It's like now we have the character finally that has maximum strength. Oh, we don't even take falling damage, boys. We're a tank. Oh, he's gonna open the door. Yeah, so I guess this is interesting. Some of the dudes seem to be like trying to help you get out of the facility. Don't know why. Maybe they're just, you're dangerous and they're just trying to get rid of you at this point. They don't really care. They're like, we'll just make another one. I mean, what else are you gonna do? That's the interesting thing about this world that is kind of, I mean, it's super interesting, is that there's no weapons. They don't come out with like the fucking military and gun you down, which most societies would have a military on hand. Like this is a really peaceful society. And like people are calling it like so dystopic. I'm like, dude, any society that isn't armed to the teeth with guns like our shitty society is, kind of gets a few points from me, at least. I would say. Like they don't even have guns to come out and tank you. And people would think, oh, it's conspiracies because they want you to escape. And it's like, no, they're just peaceful. The Blob doesn't like it because it's been used as like slave force and it's sentient, obviously. So it doesn't like that, and that is understandable. So maybe they've gone too far in that respect. But like, it's just like credit where it's due, and that's here. Talk Skull do hop. Oh, actually, though, I think I remember later that the only reason they let you through certain sections is because there's a trap ahead and they, like, want to try to catch you. So they've probably been told through, like, the radio or something. Yeah, here's another example of that. Yeah, so it's like, they're kind of, like, look like they're helping us, but honestly, it's just sort of maybe a trap. Whoa, we're very, flexible. Cool. Let's look what's down here. Can we do that? Ooh. Plop. Is this where we're supposed to go? No, not yet, at least. Oh, there's a big, one of those push carts, the big push carts we saw earlier. It's full this time. Oh, the other one was full too. Of like some sort of sand or minerals or something. There's a bunch of docking bays for them there. Okay, so I believe we have to set this on fire and then do something with it. I don't really remember why. Or not. Va I alla verden. Yeah, I see the fire symbol. It doesn't help me much. Wow. The blob part's so fun. It's such a good game. I do agree with Jacksepticeye. This is just such a satisfying, interesting game. I'm pretty sure we're supposed to have it on fire, but whatever. Maybe we throw it up here? Eh. Yeah. And then we do that again, maybe? Yeah. And then, oh. What the devil? Oh, the other thing is flammable. So, like, it's not supposed to be on fire. So we need this bad boy. Let me do this. That did not help. Is there a way for us to put it under our body? What if we do this? What if we put it? No, no. No. Oh, we throw it over top. Yeah. Oh, fuck. That was terrible at Jim. You can't blame me. I like Jim, actually. It was kind of dumb, but... Oh, here we go. Ooh, that's kind of tricky. They're kind of tricky. Oh, I gotta get some momentum. The old 1, 2. Got him. Took him. Ramain. Awesome puzzle for sure. Very cool. Ooh. What is this, a roast fest? But what are these little carts full of? Can you look at them? Not very much. Almost looks like... Oh, is it garbage? Yeah, it could be garbage. I can't really tell. So they're still helping us here. But it's unclear as to whether it's just for trap to get us captured. Because they want us out of the facility. For sure, or if it's like they just want us out. Maybe it's a bit of both. You suck. What have I... Oh. This is just how I am now. I'm just straight up a blob thing now. I mean, it's a lot better than being the little weak kid, eh? Give me... Woohoo! Now we're rocking. That's not close enough for you, eh? Whatever, my dude. Is that actually garbage down there? Huh. It's weird that they help us with that. The manager is like definitely directing someone with purpose, though. He's like telling them, "Oh, we gotta like go to the next part." So I think they're trying to get me into a certain area. Let me pull the thingy. Let me just activate it. Oh, alright, we gotta give it to the guy. I don't know why. I mean, we have dexterity, but whatever. Do your thing, Buster. Go, go, he says. Oh. Apparently I'm too freaking slow. I thought it would permanently open the door. Damn you! Owl box. Ugh. Throw it. Okay. It's too easy. Oh. Oh, thank God. Not good. Well, everyone's here. Alright, this is just to get us into the trap room. I rent the box. Well, they even have, like, are those kids or employees sitting at the front? That's really interesting. This is definitely a planned event, though. I'm going to assume they're employees. I don't think kids would be out here. Some people are smoking in the back. It's definitely a big planned thing. How stupid do they think we are? Well, we don't have a choice. Well, they underestimated our brawn, because... Woohoo! Oh no, shocker. Rude. Well, we can swim. I like swimming. I don't really know what their game plan was here. Did they really think this is going to keep us trapped for very long, or what? Maybe they were just trying to get rid of us, though. I guess we'll see. It's hard to say, right? I think they were hoping to get us trapped in here, but it wasn't a very good plan, was it? Took us all 10 seconds to escape. We look around a bit. The fish are kind of leading us where we're supposed to go, but... Fuck that, I want to see everything. What's down here? What this? Nothing. Ain't nothing down here. Some debris. I didn't even know there was a character named Deborah in here. How much in here? That is an electric transformer or something like that, I think. Back in the water. Let's go check out the left side. Yeah, so this is for electricity, right? Those are crates of machine parts or something, for sure. Kind of leaving the main science part of the facility. Well, there's nobody here, so I guess they didn't expect us to escape from that pod. Otherwise, they would be hanging out here to look at us. Or maybe they just got us out of the facility and that's all they wanted. Maybe they're just like, okay, finally we got rid of this thing. Because this is an abandoned section for sure, I think. Or it's like definitely not as used. Yeah, they were just trying to get us out of the facility. I don't think they intended to capture us there. Because it's just too poorly done. There's no way that, like, that could possibly be a good game plan. I think they're just trying to get rid of us. They're probably pretty satisfied that their experiment worked, and they can always make another one. So, I don't think they have much concern over that. For free! Roam the world like a psycho blob. Oh, it's probably a lonely life, but a good life, maybe. People do say that the diorama is like a hint that it was planned from the start, but it looks too improvised to be planned. There's no way they expected me to break through the wall. Wouldn't they have set up something a little better than that? I think the diorama is just there because a lot of places have dioramas to kind of like, ooh, this is how the facility looks from the outside. It's cool, and we're planning to build this here, coming soon in 2074 or whatever. That kind of shit. So I don't think that's very strong evidence for that. It's too improvised. The plan's really borked. I don't think they were trying to capture us. They were. I think the thing is they were trying to get us out of the facility. So if you call that a conspiracy, it's like, nah, I'm just trying to get rid of us because we're causing a lot of damage, and like obviously we can't stay in there forever, so they're just trying to get rid of us. Oh, the sound designers have the O's of the slashes. I wonder what nationality they are. Could be Swedish, Danish, Norwegian, Icelandic, maybe. But I wouldn't really know because I'm not a big expert on it. That's cool though. Oh, some dots above the O's. Is that like German, maybe? I'm not very good at that sort of thing. I would very much apologize. It's interesting though. I could look that up later for sure. Danish, yep. Makes sense. Co-founded by Danish Arts Foundation. That's awesome. Nordski Film. Then Dansk. Guess they had like some cooperation with other film groups maybe as well. That's super cool. Yeah, so this game was, I guess, funded by the Danish Film Institute or whatever it was called. That's cool. There's a very triumphant air at the end. It's almost like this is a positive ending. Like humanity has achieved something great, and yeah, it escaped the facility, but it's kind of just like the fact that it has sentient life of its own and it's like a superhuman creature is something kind of miraculous. If a bit disturbing as well, of course, but it just makes you think. It's like there's so much that human beings could be doing besides doing capitalist bullshit and dominating each other and starting wars, which is all our culture manages to do right now. Honestly, if we keep it up, it will cannibalize itself at some point, and we don't need to have that happen. I mean, I did like the triumphant positive ending. Like, I believe the ending has to be a positive ending. There was like kind of like happy, transcendent, almost choir-like music and the beam of light and the nature. It just feels like a nice ending, right? No real evidence there, but that's my take on it. I think it's a good ending. That's it for this game. That was a blast. The ending is so good. I got to chat about one of my favorite games, so that's awesome. It gave me some ideas for other stuff to play, or maybe we can look at some Akira later. Maybe even I could pull up some of the manga, or maybe clips from the movie. I feel like I'd get less in trouble if I did manga. Or, you know, we could do Black Mesa, Half-Life, other games. Bioshock is high on the list because it's anti-capitalist AF, and I love it. Bioshock is high on the list, especially after this game. There's other games I still want to finish, of course. I like to try to finish every game I start because I know I like to see that when I'm watching, so that's part of my commitment. You know, to try to like make the content what I would want to see. Yeah, that's my main commitment. Even over popularity to a certain degree, right? That's what I'm trying to do. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you found something interesting in this. I hope we can kind of see where this channel might be going. We're going to hopefully do more moody games, psychological horror games, sci-fi. I do like sci-fi, so that's up there. And stuff about like dystopian or utopian societies, whichever. And I think that's all for now. And I'll hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.